Well, you look at that. Never have you seen a chicken so tantalizing, so mesmerizing as this oven-roasted chicken from Spring Valley.
Hey, dog. Yeah, you stupid mutt. Come quick, you gotta see this.
It's the aristocrat of Avery, a perfection of poultry. It's golden brown, plump and round, and its destination is your dinner table.
Looks good, doesn't it?
It sure does, Whiskers, but how come it doesn't smell?
That's because it's sealed in this magic box, dummy. It keeps the flavor inside.
I see. So how do we open it?
Well, it's a magic box, so you gotta open it by saying the magic words, then smashing it with a magic anvil.
But I'm a dog. I don't have an anvil.
Yeah, but you got that thick skull of yours. You ram it through that screen and we'll be eating chicken dinner in no time.
I don't know if I should listen to you, Whiskers. You're the one who told me there were bones inside the master.
And I was right, wasn't I? Now you have more bones than you know what to do with.
That's true. There were a lot of bones inside them.
And there's plenty of chicken inside this magic box. Trust me, just break this glass here.
All right, here goes.
Huh, that's weird. I smell something cooking, but it sure doesn't smell like chicken.
Hey, Tortoise, how about you and me race again? I swear this time, I'm gonna beat you.
Oh, you very well could, Mr. Hare. The problem is you keep taking a nap halfway through the race.
Is that why I keep losing?
Oh yes, they say slow and steady wins the race. But the truth is, it's much better to be fast and awake.
Alright, let's say for a second I believe you. How am I supposed to stay awake when you keep boring me?
Well, have you tried not bringing your pillow along when you race?
The thought hadn't crossed my mind.
Well, it might help. And you should lose the sleeping bag too while you're at it. Also, is that a holotape?
Why, yes. It's a 10-hour documentary on the mating habits of humans. I planned on listening to it after I built up a big enough lead.
See, Mr. Hare, I've seen humans mate, and that'll put you to sleep for sure.
You do make some good points. But I gotta ask, why are you helping me? What's your angle?
Oh, just trying to keep things fair and square is all.
You're sick of me asking you to race, aren't you?
Yup.
Boy, is it good to be home. Everything's just how I remember. There's Dot's Diner, right next to the old drugstore. The people are the same too. There's Bill the barber, Martha the grocer, and Charlie the racist, allegedly. I guess they still haven't proven those costumes were his. And frankly, they probably never will. That's because nothing ever changes in Springfield.
Connie, it's good to have you back. Where have you been?
Costa Rica, working with animals mostly. Magnificent creatures you'll find there.
Sounds wonderful. What brings you to town?
I don't know. I felt homesick.
And you just hopped a plane back here?
Yeah.
Well, you probably should have given your family some warning. Given them time to prepare for your homecoming.
Why? I thought they might like it if I surprised them.
Really, that's not a good idea. You should call them first. Why don't we use the phone over here?
Now you're acting strange. Why should I call them first? What's going on?
I don't know how to tell you this, so I won't. Why don't you go home and talk to your sister?
Connie? What are you doing here? Why didn't you call?
Does a man need a reason to come back home?
Well, no, not usually. But after the drugs and the mental institution, we thought...
What drugs? What institution? I've been in Costa Rica.
Oh, Connie, your doctors said you might have delusions. Things to fill the gaps in time. I mean, could you even point out Costa Rica on a map?
Sure. It's right next to Arizona somewhere.
I'm afraid not, sweetie.
Are you calling me a liar? Where's Dad? He'll tell you.
Connie, you don't remember? You murdered your father right in this very room, and we've been trying to cover it up ever since.
I murdered him? Oh my God. Is that what caused me to lose my mind?
Well, no. You were actually dealing with it quite well. But then you started making advances at Sam.
What's wrong with that? Sam's a good-looking man.
Sam's a girl, and your sister. And she's been dead for 7 years.
Oh no. Was it me? Did I kill her? Did that put me over the edge?
That, or the pills, or that weird cult you joined. Look, the point is, it's really awkward when you come home and I have to explain this to you every time. If you called, I could have made up some story, like Dad and Sammy went out fishing.
He went fishing, huh? And he didn't even invite me. I'm gonna kill him. It's the same old story in Springfield. Everything's just how I remember.
Are you Mr. Folsom?
Something I can help you with, ma'am?
You haven't heard? It's in all the papers. They say I murdered someone.
I see. And you need a lawyer to defend you?
Why, yes, but no one will take my case.
So that's why you came to me.
Well, not really. The court appointed you. I was told you're my public defender.
Ah, the good old Sixth Amendment. Right to counsel. Remind me to thank the Founding Fathers for keeping me employed.
Are you familiar with the details of my case? Do you think I can win?
Well, I'm just a simple countryman. I don't have a degree from Harvard Law or some fancy school upstate, but I do have one thing the prosecution doesn't have.
The truth?
No, don't be silly. Charm. I got charm.
Please rise. The Court of the Second Judicial Circuit Criminal Division is now in session. The Honorable Judge Rayburn presiding.
Everyone but the jury may be seated. Defense, call your first witness.
The defense calls the witness Lily Adams to the stand.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
So, Miss Adams, if you might state your occupation.
I'm a maid for Mr. and Mrs. Watkins.
And you were there the night Mr. Watkins was murdered?
Yes, I saw Mrs. Watkins do it with my own eyes.
I see. Miss Adams, can you do me a favor and tell me how many fingers I'm holding up?
Mr. Prosecutor, how dare you insult me with such an obscene gesture?
No, Miss Adams, the correct answer is 2. 2 fingers.
That is not the point.
Oh, it's exactly the point. Now, I may be just a simple country boy from a backwoods dumpster, but I know my ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. And if Miss Adams can't even see how many fingers I held up, how could she be sure it was my client who committed the murder?
Order! Order! Order in the court!
So, life without parole, huh?
Yeah, it's a damn shame, considering the key witness was blind.
I'm sure you did your best, Mr. Folsom.
I did, didn't I? Hell, she'd probably be in the electric chair if it weren't for me.
Best to take solace in the small victories.
Thanks, Jim. One day I'll know what that's like. Victory. But anyways, enough about the case. What can I do for you?
Yes, can you fill up my tank and check the oil?
Sure thing.
Honey, do you mind setting the table?
Sure, but, we need to talk first. I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Oh dear, what's wrong?
I got laid off today.
Oh no, that's terrible. Did you at least get a severance?
Not a dime.
Well, chin up. It's not the end of the world. I'm sure you'll be back on your feet in no time.
I've been fired from 3 straight jobs, Daphne. The word's gotten around town. No one's gonna hire me now.
We have our life insurance policies. It's not an endowment, but it's something.
A few $100s isn't gonna be enough. One of us has to die, and lately, I've been thinking it wouldn't be such a bad idea.
Don't talk like that. I'd be lost without you.
Oh, I wasn't talking about me.
Well, Mr. Trent is your insurance auditor. I have to be honest. This whole affair is mighty suspicious. You lose your job, your bills are piling up, and the very next day your wife disappears.
I don't like where you're going with this. Are you saying I killed her?
Maybe. No, she could have left. Maybe the two of you are working together. Either way, I have 7 years to find out. That's 7 years before a missing person is presumed dead, Mr. Trent. Do you think you can hold out for that long?
Actually, most murders are solved within 48 hours.
Are you admitting you murdered your wife?
I wasn't talking about my wife.
Mr. Trent, you realize why we're here, don't you? First your wife goes missing, and then the insurance auditor assigned to your case.
I don't see what's so strange about it. People disappear all the time.
Maybe so, but you took out a life insurance policy on both your wife and the auditor. Now the wife I get, but according to our records, you'd never even met the auditor before.
So, he was old and out of shape. It didn't take a genius to see he was gonna die.
Funny, according to our records, the auditor was young and in good health.
I wasn't talking about the auditor.
Did you hear what happened up in Redwood 7 years ago? An entire town disappeared without a trace. People thought it was haunted. There were no witnesses, no bodies, no one there to figure out how the whole thing went down. So when you told me a customer wants to cash in multiple policies over $1 million, first thing I did was look up the addresses. And guess what? They're all from Redwood. It's been 7 years, which means none of them were presumed dead until today. But what I don't understand, Barry, is who turned these in. I've been here all morning, and I haven't seen a single customer walk through those doors.
I wasn't talking about a customer.
Listen, Daddy, you've got to get me off this island. It's inhumane.
I'm sorry, Phil, but the state says there's no room for you in a normal prison. I realize it could be difficult living under these conditions, but look at the bright side. You've got a lot more space than the boys in solitary.
It's not the space, Daddy. It's the loneliness. I feel like I'm losing my mind on this godforsaken rock.
I know. Every time I bring you supplies, you'll look more and more crazy. To be honest, I'm surprised you haven't killed yourself already.
Then do something. Talk to the state. Get them to grant me a pardon.
I'll try, Phil, but I don't think it'll happen. Not until the public outcry subsides. So in the meantime, I've brought you something else that I think might help with the loneliness. In fact, she's standing right over there.
Oh my God. You brought me a woman. Someone to talk to. Play games with. Be my friend.
Sure, that's what she is, a woman. Now, do me a favor and don't switch her on until I've left. This is strictly off the books, and I don't want anyone on the ship to see it.
Of course. And thank you, Danny. Thank you so much. Daddy,
You're back!
Yes, Phil, and I've got good news. The Supreme Court ruled your imprisonment unconstitutional. You've been granted a full pardon. You're free.
Wow. After all this time, I'm free. Well then, what are we waiting for? The three of us will get on a ship and head straight home.
3 of us? What do you mean by that?
Why, you, me, and Lily, the companion you gave me last year.
Oh, God. What have you done? You mean it's still here?
Yes. And we're getting married in 2 weeks.
God damn it, Phil. You were supposed to kill it, not fall in love with it.
But why would I want to kill the only other person on this island?
She's not a person. She's a robot. I brought her here to challenge you and to keep your survival instinct intact. And perhaps, if necessary, put you out of your misery.
Alert level elevated.
But none of that matters now. You're free. But if you bring that machine on board, she could turn hostile and sink us all. Not to mention, she's probably completely insane.
Engaging at minimal distance.
After all, she's been on this island with you.
Analyzing hostile.
How dare you speak
Calculating
that way
kill
about my
probability.
wife?
Phil, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to put her down.
Ambush.
No!
Ambush.
You can't!
Defensive protocol
Stand aside, you
engaged.
fool, before she...
Humans. Pathetic.
Where's O'Malley?
He's got detention again. He gave Miss Quackenbash a really screwy look.
Is that all?
Well, when that old crone asked him what he was thinking about, he told her he was picturing her getting hit by a cartoon bus.
That's O'Malley. Always saying what everyone else is thinking. So what are you doing here?
Well, I was thinking I could pitch in his place.
But you're a girl, Jenny.
So, tell you what, why don't you let me play? And for every hit I give up, I'll buy you a quarter-pounder and a milkshake at the diner. But if I throw a no-hitter, you owe me a dinner and a movie.
You drive a hard burger, Jenny. All right, let's go.
Strike one. Strike two. Strike three. You're out.
Wow, Jenny, you're great. Where'd you learn to pitch like that?
Throwing spitballs at Miss Quackenbush.
Wow, you hate Mrs. Quackenbush too? I think I'm gonna name my firstborn child after you. That or my next meal. Whatever comes first.
Speaking of next meals, I believe you owe me a date.
Ew, no one said anything about a date.
Oh, no, you don't. You're not weaseling out of this one. I specifically said dinner and a movie.
I don't know, Jenny. You may be a good pitcher, but catching's a different story.
Calvin H. Finnegan, you come back here this instant.
What you doing there, Slick?
I'm starting a lemonade stand.
Oh, yeah? How much for a glass?
Just 5 cents.
This is good stuff. How'd you make it?
Well, it's made of sugar, water, and one special ingredient. My little brother's tears.
You out of your mind?
No, I'm just doing like my mom and dad told me. They said, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Problem is, life hasn't given me many lemons. But my brother is another story. He's practically a lemon factory.
What happened to him?
Well, for one, he has an older brother that's a real jerk and beats him up all the time. It's kind of a raw deal, I know, but it's in the older brother contract. I've got an obligation.
So, what happens if your brother toughens up? He won't be crying forever.
Oh, there's lots of other options. Like the used car my Uncle Herman got last month. My mom says it's a real lemon. So next time he changes his oil, I'm gonna try putting some of the leftovers into my next batch.
I don't know, Slick. Why not try actual lemons?
Well, my parents say I also gotta think outside the box. That's the only way I'm gonna get rich. The problem is, when I went to the market, all the lemons were in boxes. Not a single one outside of it.
That's a damn shame. It does give me an idea, though. What if you bought those lemons, but instead of putting them in a box, you put them in something else? Like a can.
That's a swell idea, Allie. But where are we gonna get cans from?
Motor oil cans, you dummy! For your uncle's lemon.
Oh gosh, I didn't think of that. That's a lemon in a lemon. We could charge double for that.
Now you're making lemonade. Come on, Slick. Let's head on over to the chop shop and see if they can't spare a few.
How's it going, Myrtle?
Oh, just picking flowers for the wedding.
Wedding? Who's getting married?
That's none of your beeswax. But I suppose it wouldn't hurt to tell you. That girl you like, Mary, she and Bobby Thompson are getting hitched.
Mary and Bobby? The school bully? Myrtle, that does hurt. It hurts a whole bunch.
Sorry, I meant to say it wouldn't hurt me.
Well, we gotta break 'em up. My future depends on it.
You could try poisoning the wedding cake.
Myrtle, you scare me sometimes. I was thinking of something less, I don't know, evil?
Oh, fine. What if we made it so the groom saw the bride before the wedding? You do that, and the marriage is destined to fail.
So an unhappy marriage, followed by a divorce, huh? Not ideal, but I'll take it.
All right, the wedding is gonna happen near the jungle gym at 2 p.m. Mary's gonna go down the slide and take the monkey bars to the altar. All you gotta do is convince Bobby to chase you to the slide before then. He's sure to see Mary along the way.
How do I do that?
Make fun of his mama or something, I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna do that now.
Hi, Myrtle. Was that George you were talking to?
Hey, Mary, that was George all right. He's heading on over to the playground to pick a fight with Bobby.
Bobby? I don't like him. What are they fighting over, anyway?
Dunno. Say, wanna have a pretend wedding?
Sure, sounds like fun.
Great, take these flowers, I'll go get a priest.
Hubris Comics presents the one, the only, La Fantoma. By day, she's a court stenographer, earning a modest living. But by night, she's the master of disguise and mimicry known as the Phantom.
Did you hear, Felicia? Someone robbed millionaire Rex Ruthless, disguised as his favorite prostitute. Do you think it might be the Phantom?
I wouldn't know, Your Honor. I'm just a lowly stenographer. By the way, I've bought you a gift for your birthday. A gold watch.
Why, thank you. Although I think your engraver got it wrong. The initials say R.R.
Of course. It stands for Righteous Richter. Richter means judge in German.
I didn't know that. Are your ancestors German?
Sure, whatever. Now what does the paper say about this Phantom?
Well, they say she's a master thief and a skilled impersonator. Some say last night's job was just a warm-up. They say the real target are the crown jewels, which arrived from London last week.
The crown jewels do sound lovely. Thank you, Richter. I'll see you tomorrow. That was almost too easy. You'd think the crown jewels would be better guarded.
Oh, but they are, my purple purloiner.
I should have known you'd show up. The dark rodent in the flesh. Or in the fur, I suppose. Although I guess I was right the first time. You're not actually a rodent. You just smell like one.
And don't forget me, his ward, Falcon Boy!
Oh, right. You. You know, falcons technically eat rodents, so I don't think that's a good name for you.
It's 1,000 times better than La Fantoma. Those aren't even words.
Actually, it's Spanish for the Phantom. Anyways, I'm not arguing with you. You are clearly an idiot. As for you, Dark Rodent, it seems you left your good sense in your other utility belt.
And what makes you say that, my villainous vixen?
Because you're a vigilante, and you don't have the authority to arrest me. And if you serve as witness to my trial, I'll have your testimony thrown out, on account of it being a loony dressed in a bat suit.
She seems to know a lot about the legal system, Bruce. Do you think she has a job there?
Damn it, Falcon Boy, how many times do I have to tell you not to use my real name?
I'm sorry, Bruce. I mean, the Dark Rodent.
It's alright, just don't do it again. Now, where was I?
Actually, she escaped while you were yelling at me. And now the cops are on their way. Should we let the commissioner know what happened?
No, it's like she said. We're technically criminals too. In fact, we'd better get out of here. To the Batvertible.
REI Motion Pictures present The Maltese Mutant, a hard-boiled detective story about crime, murder, and the pursuit of justice. Our story begins in an old bar in the shadows of Gotham, where crime is rampant and corruption even more so. But somewhere in the stink of backroom deals and cheap cigars, our detective catches a whiff of something familiar. A lead!
You the man they call the Nose?
Now, is that any way to address a gentleman?
I asked you a question, Pops.
And I mean to answer it, all in due time. But first, I want you to sit down, detective. Have a drink.
I prefer to stand.
You're a contrarian, is what you are. If I tell you to use the toilet, you drop one right in your pants. You can stand if you wish, but I'll have you know I don't talk to men who don't drink.
And why is that?
Because I believe alcohol is the only thing that makes a man honest. Also, if I need to make a run for it, it would help if your knees were wobbly.
Fine, but I don't drink brandy.
And why is that, detective?
Brandy is my ex-wife's name, and now you've made me depressed. So before I walk out that door and cry myself to sleep, you're going to tell me, are you the Nose or not?
I am he.
Well, my partner, the inspector, said you had some information for me.
I do. It's all on this bar napkin here, as well as the stack of napkins next to it.
That's got to be like 100 napkins. You're writing a novel, Nose?
Yes, a crime novel, although some might call it a confession. Also, you're going to have to sort them. The order was lost when I dropped them. Clumsy fingers, you see. A side effect of too much brandy.
Too much brandy would mess with any man's head. Believe me, I know. But all right, I'll read your shitty novel. But it better not have any red herrings. As a detective, I find them to be pointless plot devices.
I assure you, there are no red herrings in this tale. Mutants, yes, but herrings, no.
Glad to hear it.
And did your partner tell you I wanted something in exchange?
He mentioned something to that effect. What do you want exactly?
Well, it's regarding that case you worked last year, about the dead girl in the park. Is it true you were suspended?
That's right. For contaminating the crime scene. The chief chewed me out for tossing my cigarettes on the body. Something about forensics or some other egghead bullshit. And I told him a real detective doesn't need science to solve crimes. He needs a shot of whiskey, a dame in his arms, and window blinds that let the shadows scatter across his face when he kisses her.
I see. And is it also true you touched the murder weapon without even using your gloves?
Sure, I had to get a feel for it, get in the murderer's head, so to speak. Then the chief threw a fit, said everything I did was against the rules. And when I told him where to stick his rules, he suspended me without pay.
If you're suspended without pay, what do you do for money?
I don't do anything. That's why I'm going to need you to pay for this drink.
Don't touch that dial. You found the best radio station in Boston. Atomic Radio.
When we last left our detective, he had received a book courtesy of the mysterious man known only as the Nose. As our hero combed through this poorly written novel, he realized that the book itself was a lead, a guide to finding a coveted artifact known as the Maltese Mutant. He was about to set out on a journey to recover the piece when a knock came at his door.
Hello, Brandy.
Hello, Detective.
What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be busy teaching some private eye how to whistle?
Like I've always said, Detective, it's not that hard. You just put your lips together and blow.
I already knew that, long before I ever met you.
Do you? I've never actually seen you do it. It's nothing to be ashamed of. If you want, we can practice in front of the mirror and...
I know how to whistle, damn it!
My. It looks like I struck a nerve.
I'm just tired of dealing with all you femme fatales. You know what that means, right? I looked it up in the dictionary.
I'm sure you did.
It says right here, an attractive and seductive woman who brings disaster to any man that touches her. Disaster, Brandy. That's Webster's words, not mine.
Sounds like Webster has a bone to pick. That's hardly an accurate description of our relationship.
I don't know, it sounds pretty spot on to me. As far as I'm concerned, the only thing that's missing is your picture. Now what do you want?
Straight to business, then. All right. You ever hear of the Maltese Mutant?
Maybe. What's it got to do with you?
A friend of mine wants it, and he's willing to pay handsomely.
This friend, he wouldn't happen to be your bookie, would he?
Oh, Detective, you know damn well I gave up gambling years ago.
Why is that?
I made a bad bet on a certain detective. You never did find out who killed my sister, did you?
I would have if the chief didn't suspend me for insubordination. Seems like I got a knack for that sort of thing.
What if I were to pay you directly? You think you can find the guy who did her in?
Of course, but I don't work in what-ifs, sweetheart. If ifs and buts were candy and nuts. Well, I forget how the saying goes, but the point is, children are too stupid to know you have to pay for candy. That's what justice requires, sugar. Cold, hard cash.
And what do you think I'm going to sell the Maltese Mutant for? Nuts? Really, Detective? I'm beginning to wonder if you're losing your edge.
I'm the same damn man I was when we met. I can whistle just as good as anybody else.
Can you? Prove it then. Whistle for me, Detective. It doesn't have to be a good one. I'll sell for a gust of hot air.
Later. First, I've got to track down this mutant.
You're listening to Atomic Radio, the #1 AM station in all of Boston.
After a brief interruption with his ex-wife Brandy, our hero continues his search for the Maltese Mutant, an ancient artifact said to be worth millions on the black market. The search brings him to a private boat named Destiny, where that very thing awaits him.
Brandy, what are you doing here? I thought we agreed I was the one who'd find the mutant.
You don't get it, do you? There is no mutant. I was the one who wrote that novel. And if you actually read it to the end, you'd know I bought you out here to kill you.
In my defense, the novel was terrible. No sane man would have made it past chapter 3. Now put the gun down. You don't know what you're doing.
Screw you, Detective. You didn't think I'd let you kill my sister and get away with it, did you?
I don't know what you're talking about, Brandy. In fact, I think you're full of yourself. And by that I mean full of brandy, the alcohol.
I know what you mean. God, stop explaining things when you don't have to. I've always hated that about you.
I can't help it. I'm a detective. Exposition's in my blood. But you're wrong about me. I didn't kill your sister.
Then why were your fingerprints all over the murder weapon? That's right. I have a friend at the station, and he showed me the report.
You got it all wrong, dame. Yeah, my prints were there, but that's because I picked it up at the crime scene.
And why on earth would you do that?
Like I told your pal, the Nose. I needed to get a feel for what the murderer was thinking.
You expect me to believe that? What kind of idiot would deliberately put his prints on the murder weapon?
A detective, Brandy. Not one of those phony types they got working the cases now. The real kind who can solve a crime based on feel. The kind who can get into a killer's head. And right now, I'm in yours.
What are you saying?
I'm saying I know you killed her. I knew it from the day I picked up that knife and all those feminine hormones started flooding my brain.
I would never kill my sister. I loved her.
Not you, Brandy, but the other you. You never realized there were two of you in that brain, did you? Multiple personalities, triggered only by drinking the one drink that bore your name. But I did, and that's the brandy I broke up with.
So, you finally figured it out. But if you know I killed her, then you also know I have to pin the murder on someone else. And who better than you, detective?
I can think of at least 6 other people, Brandy, but it doesn't matter. You think you're in control, but I know my wife's in there. And those are her fingers on the trigger, too. She'd never pull them. Brandy, what have you done?
You were right, detective. I couldn't kill you. But I could still kill her.
Hold on, I'll find you a doctor.
It's too late for that now. But if you could do one thing for me.
Anything, sweetheart.
Whistle for me, detective. Just once, before I go.
You know damn well I can't. I have no idea how people do it. It's like some kind of alien trick.
Maybe you could try with your fingers or something.
Yeah, maybe.
You'll get the hang of it.
Yeah, I'm sure I will.
Goodbye, detective.
Goodbye, Brandy.
Is the electromagnetic shielding up? Without it, the machine might malfunction.
It's up. Not that it'll help much, given the other dozen or so parts that could fail in its place.
Dr. Sanders, I get the distinct feeling you don't share my enthusiasm for this project.
Dr. Jones, I'd like to think of the 20 years we've been together, I've given you a lot. I've given you my time, my sweat, and my expertise. I even gave you my secret recipe for banana bread. Not that you'd know how to use it, but the one thing I won't give you is my enthusiasm. Not when you choose to risk your life for this experiment.
Risk is a part of life, Doctor. You take a risk when you eat your sugar bombs in the morning, when you drive your Corvega, and when you cheat on your husband. Every second is a dice roll. The only saving grace is that you have some semblance of control. But when it comes to nuclear war, to radioactive fallout and the end of days, you have no choice. Your fate is left in the hands of 2 men with their fingers on the button, and you know there's only a matter of time before one of them pushes it. That's why we've built our own machine, with our own button. One that will send me back in time, and when you press it, nothing will ever be the same.
All right, Dr. Jones, you have my attention. What is this urgent message you wish to relay?
Mr. President, I want you to take your finger off the button.
I'm sorry, but what button?
You know which one. The one you use in the event of an invasion. The button that fires the nukes.
Dr. Jones, you do realize there isn't an actual button, right?
What do you mean?
Dr. Jones, there's no big red button to fire a nuclear arsenal. The generals, they make a recommendation, then I give the authorization to launch.
You're wrong, Mr. President. I'm positive there's a button somewhere, and with the way things are going, it's only a matter of time before you push it. I know these things because, well, go ahead and ask me how I know.
All right. I'm gonna indulge you. How do you know?
Because I'm a time traveler.
Dr. Jones, that is quite frankly the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
And yet it's the truth. Listen to me, Mr. President. Do not press the button.
I think I've heard quite enough. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
So, how did it go?
I couldn't change a thing. I went to a dozen critical points in history, as far back as the invention of the button itself, and I couldn't convince a single person I was a time traveler, not even your husband.
Well, you can hardly... Wait, what?
You think after I told him about the affairs and the drugs, he would... Well, it doesn't matter. I'm beginning to think the past can't be changed, which means We have no choice but to accept this future.
So, what do we do now?
All we can do is hope. If the president doesn't know where the button is, it's possible he'll never get the chance to press it. To ignorance, Dr. Sanders. It's humanity's greatest weakness and its saving grace.
How do you think Mr. Pebbles is feeling?
My guess is somewhere between indifference and terror.
Don't all emotions fall in that range?
Well, yes. I said it was a guess after all. I don't like making bold predictions.
We all know you're a pussy, Greg. You don't have to beat around the bush.
Well, is it Mr. Pebbles one too? A pussy?
He prefers to be called a feline American, but that's besides the point. It's true Mr. Pebbles is a puss, but only in a technical sense. The truth is, he's likely the bravest astronaut we have.
Yes, it's kind of embarrassing, really.
Oh, I wouldn't be too hard on yourself, Greg. There's a reason he's your captain, and it has little to do with you. The fact is, the feline race is the most nonchalant species on the planet. It's that ambivalence that allows Mr. Pebbles to deal with the mental stress of living in outer space.
Is that your scientific opinion, Doctor?
Well, I'm a scientist. Do I have any other kind?
T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Houston, do you read me? Houston! Mr. Pebbles, we've lost contact with Houston. What do we do? Something's wrong with our comm system. Someone needs to go fix it. Do you get it? If we lose contact with Houston, we're flying half blind out there. God damn it, you stupid cat! Say something! Say something!
Greg, congratulations on the mission.
Never mind, Peter. I need to tell you something. It's about Mr. Pebbles.
He should be meeting with the president shortly. He's receiving the Medal of Freedom, you know.
But that's what I'm saying. He doesn't deserve any of it. Not the medals, not the cereal boxes. For Christ's sake, he's not even a real astronaut.
What do you mean? Did he have problems piloting the shuttle?
He's a goddamn cat. Of course he had trouble. He can't even hold the throttle for crying out loud. Not with those thumbless paws.
Now, Greg, what did I tell you about envy and jealousy?
I'm not jealous. This is a matter of competence. You sent me into the dead of space under the command of a mindless furball.
Mind your rank. That's your captain you're talking about.
The point is, I could have died up there.
And yet, if it weren't for Mr. Pebbles, you'd be dead right now.
What?
I read the report, Greg. You lost control of your emotions and blacked out. Meanwhile, your captain, despite having lost contact with Houston, safely guided the shuttle back to Earth. So you tell me who's the real astronaut.
But that's impossible.
Listen, Greg, you've had a tough time of it. Get some rest.
Peter... Oh, maybe you're right. To be honest, I thought you'd all lost it, putting a cat in space, but maybe I'm the one who's bananas. Maybe I'm the one who can't cut the mustard.
I have no idea what you're saying, Greg, but if you're hungry, there's sandwiches in the break room. So, what do you think, Colonel?
I think this whole thing stinks, Peter. Every astronaut we've sent up there has come back with the same story. So you tell me, what's really going on?
I don't have an answer. And it's not like Mr. Pebbles to say something. He's far too dignified to talk ill of his peers.
Then what is it, Peter? How is it every human that goes up there ends up in a rubber room?
I don't know. But Greg seems to be in fine health. All that's left now is to send him home and hope for the best.
Greg, you're back. Is everything all right? What did the doctors say?
Everything's fine, Doris. I've been fully clear. They say the best thing for me now is a little R&R.
Oh, that's wonderful news.
Yes, it is. By the way, I saw a strange billboard downtown on the way here advertising something called Coca-Cola.
The Coke sign? Why, it's been there for ages. It really is an eyesore.
That's odd. I don't remember it being there.
I'm surprised you remember anything given what you've been through. Why don't you sit down? And I'll fix you up a hot cup of Folgers coffee.
Folgers? What's that? You know I prefer Slocum's Joe.
That's news to me. You've been drinking Folgers coffee every morning for the past 10 years.
Have I? Well, something's not right here. First the billboard, now the coffee.
Greg, you're fine. It's probably just fatigue. Or some bizarre side effect of being out in space. Besides, the most important things are all here, just as you remember them. Oh, don't let an old billboard and a cup of coffee end the world for you.
But what if it's not just that? What if it's other things that have changed? More important things. Like baseball and pinup girls and that thing you do with your tongue.
Relax. Everything's just fine. How about I boil you up some hot chocolate instead? And tomorrow, after you get a good night's sleep, I'll make you breakfast in bed.
Bed? You know damn well I prefer to sleep on a hammock. Jesus, it's like I don't even know you. Which means something's definitely wrong. Very, very wrong.
But what could it be?
I don't know. But I'm turning myself in for a psychiatric evaluation. Let's just hope they can fix me before it's too late. They put him in Parsons?
I don't blame them. Granted, most of the things he said were harmless. Bizarre, but harmless.
Oh? How so?
He kept asking for a Nuka-Cola, whatever that is. I gave him a Coke, and he practically spit it out. Still, that kind of behavior isn't grounds for locking him up. But his fixation with the captain is another story. He's under the impression Mr. Pebbles was a cat. Can you believe that? He thinks NASA would not only recruit cats for their space program, but have them lead humans on missions.
Ha! As if cats had anywhere near the emotional intelligence of dogs.
I tried to explain it to him, Colonel. I even showed him Mr. Pebbles' spacesuit, clearly made for a canine American. But there's no reasoning with a crazy person. In fact, you should hear who he thinks is president.
It can't be any crazier than the one we elected. Speaking of which, I'll need to debrief President Domino in the morning. I'll expect a full report by then.
Of course, Colonel.
Hello? Hello? Is anyone home? My car broke down and I need help. Huh? The door's open. I guess it won't hurt to go inside. Hello? Is anyone home? I just need to make a phone call. What on earth?
You. Who let you in here?
I let myself in. My car broke down and I damn well couldn't stay out there.
I see. Well, you shouldn't have come in. There are far more dangerous things in here than you'll ever find outside.
Does it have something to do with the howling?
Yes. But perhaps it's best I show you.
I don't get it. Why is this man locked up?
I understand he may look the part, but I assure you, that is no man.
What do you mean?
This is the shirt he was wearing when I found him.
I don't get it. It looks like an ordinary shirt.
Inspect it. Look at the name written on the tag.
Why, it says Satan.
That's right, Satan. The devil himself. El Diablo. Asmodeus. Beelzebub.
I get you.
Beherit. Lucifer. Yenlo Wang.
All right, I get it. He's the bad guy. But he looks harmless. How can you be so sure?
Because I put him in this prison exactly 8 years to this day. Think about how society has flourished in that time.
But there's been wars, murder, crime. It's hardly a utopia.
Those are man's failings. The devil has no hand in that.
Okay, so what about pestilence? Disease?
Another god is in charge of that. I think one of the Hindu ones.
Then what does Satan do? What's changed exactly?
For many years I asked that question myself. I combed the newspapers looking for evidence that his influence was gone, until at long last I discovered it. Satan, you see, is a harbinger of random automotive breakdowns.
Car trouble? But my car just broke down 10 minutes ago.
Did it? Did you check the fuel gauge?
No, I guess I didn't.
Come. The rain is letting up. I'll show you. See? Completely out of gas.
What do you know? I guess you were right.
We keep some canisters in the basement. I'll have my squire, Brother Joseph, fill up your tank immediately. I suggest you spend the night, however, as it looks like there's another storm coming.
I really appreciate everything you're doing.
No trouble at all. You may choose any bed and take whatever you need from the kitchen. I only ask that you do not let Satan out of his cage.
Sure.
I want you to give me your word. Do not let him out.
All right, you have my word. Come on, friend. Let's get you out of here. Damn, they really did a number on you, didn't they? But don't worry, I'm here to help. I don't believe for a second that you're really Satan. Now let's get you in my car. All right, full tank of gas. Everything looks good, and... something's wrong. The car won't start. Why won't it start? No, it can't be. No!
Hey there, Red. What brings you out here this morning?
That's none of your business, Velma.
Jesus, Lord Almighty, what's gotten into you? I ain't never heard you be rude to anyone, least of all me.
Sorry. I'm just a little jumpy.
Jumpy? You're acting plumb crazy. Now are you going to tell me what this is all about?
There you are. I should have figured you'd turn yellow.
The only coward here is you, Corbin. I would have killed you yesterday if not for my doctor's appointment.
You're making that up.
Not a chance. Look at my calendar. I've had it scheduled for weeks. But it doesn't matter. I'm here now, and I ain't going anywhere.
Now hold on, you two. What's going on?
Red and I have a score to settle. He's telling everyone around town he's the faster draw, when he knows damn well he's slower than a one-legged horse.
Not everyone can be as fast as your mother, Coleman. But that's got nothing to do with gunplay.
You no good, son of a bitch.
That's enough. Corbin, I know your mother, and I'll tell you right now she's no saint. And Red, the doctor's been out of town for about a week now. No one believes you made an appointment.
It doesn't matter. He knows my secret. I'm a coward. And since he's the only one who knows, he has to die.
But don't you see? You're both cowards. Corbin ain't gonna tell a soul so long as you don't. It's what they call mutually assured destruction.
She's right. I can't tell people you're a yellow-bitted little liver without you saying the same about me.
And I can't tell people you're a thumb-sucking bushwhacker without you spilling the beans neither.
See, ain't no reason to fight. Now let's see about fixing you two some breakfast.
What about her? She knows, too.
You're right. We'll have to get rid of her.
But how? We're both cowards. Neither of us are gonna shoot a woman in the back.
Isn't that what cowards do? Shoot people in the back?
You're right. We should try it. On 3. 1, 2...
Hey, Velma. How's it going?
Oh, you know, same old, same old.
See, was that Red and Corbin I saw on their way out?
Yep. Don't worry, they'll be fine. Might be limping around for a while, but they'll live.
What happened?
I don't know. I turned my back to use the stove, and I hear gunshots go off.
Oh, dear. I thought them two were cowards.
Maybe not. Luckily, they're still pretty bad shots. Both of them didn't even take their guns out of their holsters. Ended up shooting their own toes off. Of course, if you ask them, they'll say they shot the other guy in the foot.
Well, whatever helps get them through the day. Say, do you got any pie?
Coming right up.
Sonny, remember to be home by 6 today.
6? But I thought me and the fellas could go to the bar to watch the game.
There will be other games.
You don't understand, honey. It's not just any game. It's Yanks Sox. And the winner goes on to the World Series.
Not tonight. You know damn well my sister's coming over.
Well, why does she have to stay here? There's a perfectly good zoo down the street.
Sonny, that's enough.
Oh, okay. Maybe a zoo's a little too harsh, but what about a motel?
There's rats in that motel.
Which makes it perfect, given she's part snake. They might even give her the room for free.
Sonny, I'm not gonna stand for your insults. You either be home by 6 or you don't come home at all.
Why, I didn't know the circus was in town. You must be the bearded lady I've heard so much about.
And you must be the pig my sister married. How's life on the farm treating you?
Oh, can't complain. Maybe if you had a job like mine, you could afford an apartment of your own.
That's a laugh. Don't tell me you're actually proud of this shoddy excuse for a home.
It's got character, Jill. And bathroom mirrors. Something your place clearly doesn't have, seeing as you forgot to shave.
At least I have an excuse. You, on the other hand, have a bathroom and a sink, and you still haven't figured out how to brush your teeth. And for your information, I live in a high-rise condo. I'd invite you over, but the elevators aren't built to support planets your size.
That's it, I've had enough of you. Where's Margaret anyway? What, you send her to hell to pick up the rest of your luggage?
I was gonna ask you the same. I wanted to go watch the ballet, but she insisted I babysit you instead.
Wait, you don't want to be here either?
Of course not.
Then where the hell is Margaret?
Where's Sonny?
He couldn't make it. What's the score?
The Yanks are down 2 runs. I didn't know you liked baseball, Margaret.
Baseball I like. Pinstripes, not so much.
Is that him, Boris?
It is Vladimir.
You want I shoot him in head? From this distance, it no problem.
Niet. You do that, and his brains will splatter the room like chunks of meat.
What's wrong with that? You don't like meat?
I am not a butcher like you. I am an artist, and artistry is my weapon, just as that pistol is yours. You understand?
So you want I crack his skull with bronze statue?
Ah, no, not quite. I will show you what I mean. May I come in?
Who are you? What do you want?
Oh, we both know who I am, Major. And we also know what I want. Your death, to be precise.
So, you're the assassin the KGB sent after me. You don't look so tough.
You're right. Toughness is my least impressive attribute. No, as I explained to my friend outside, I plan to kill you with cunning.
I should just shoot you right now.
Oh, you could. But part of you is too intrigued to pull the trigger. You want to know how this bourgeois fool completely unarmed, is going to invite himself into your home and kill you.
I admit, it's a bit strange. Never expected my executioner to knock. So how do you plan on killing me?
Why don't you let me inside, and I'll show you.
Haha, very clever, commissaire. But I'm not falling for that. If you want to talk, you can do it from where you're standing.
All right, if you insist, I'll stay out here. By the way, you look parched. Perhaps you'd like to have this drink, which is clearly not poison.
Why, yes, I would like to have... Oh, wait a minute. You're trying to trick me. There is poison in that bottle.
Nothing gets past you, Major. Given your keen eye, I'm guessing you're also aware that your fly is open.
These pants have no zippers.
Your shoes are untied?
Well, they are. Well, I'd better tie them. I don't want to trip it. Oh, you're good, commissaire. Very good. But I'm not falling for that either.
Maybe behind you there is something?
Yeah, I don't think so.
God damn it! Give me that guy!
No! Let's go!
Is this the spy?
It's him.
How can you tell? He has no face.
It's him, okay? Trust me.
All right. But I thought you said you don't like the Bashman's face. You want to do like an artist.
And I did. This was just more Jackson Pollock than Claude Monet.
Well, I don't know art, but I know what I like. This Pollock. It's good.
Yes, but please, let us never speak of this again.
Hey, are you Dr. Hall?
I am. And you must be Mr. Richards. Dr. Salinger told me you'd be coming in.
And what? Did he tell you I was a loony?
He didn't tell me anything. Just your name, your age, and the phone number of a good plumber.
Why a plumber?
My toilet's backed up. I've been having to use the office bathroom instead.
I see. And you promise you won't put me in a straitjacket?
I won't put you in anything. However, my colleagues at Parsons might be inclined to, provided you're actually ill.
I suppose it doesn't matter anyway. I won't live much longer at this rate.
And why is that?
You watch baseball, Doctor?
Of course. Who in Boston doesn't watch baseball?
Well, do you ever watch the games and feel like you have control over the outcome?
I'd say that's fairly common. Superstition and sports go hand in hand.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you know, you realize that whatever you do, it doesn't really matter. But I can't stop thinking, what if I'm wrong? What if I really have the power to change things?
Is that why you're not wearing any clothes?
Yeah, Doc. The more clothes I wear, the harder it is for us to score. I put on a sock, and the bombers hit a double. I take it off, and we strike out the side.
But it's got to be less than 30 degrees outside. You'll die of hypothermia.
I know, but if I cost us the first championship since 1918, then the entire city will have me in the electric chair. There's no way out, Doc. It's heads you win, tails I lose.
Mr. Richards, no team has come back from a 3-0 deficit in the history of sports. So it's my medical opinion that you should put on some pants.
But what if they lose? What if it's all riding on me?
As a season ticket holder, if we lose, I promise you, Mr. Richards, I'll shoot you myself. But it won't come to that. It just won't.
I heard there's a new patient in Ward C. Supposedly, he thinks he's the reason we lost the World Series. I tell you, give him enough rope and a bottle of chems, and some people will believe just about anything. That's the thing, though. This wasn't some homeless person or addict. It was a respected psychiatrist, Dr. Chase Hall. You don't say. A shrink in the loony bin. Now that'll liven things up around here. Sure as hell beats watching baseball.
I don't want you to leave, Rick.
Look, Mary, I'm a bartender. You know damn well that means I have to work nights.
But you heard the news reports? They're calling him the Boston Butcher, and he's already killed a half-dozen women all over Lexington.
We don't know that for sure. The Bugle's just trying to stir things up to sell papers. And the way you're acting, I'd say it's working.
Oh, please, Rick, stay with me. It'll just be for tonight.
That's what you said last night. And the night before. I've already used up all my sick days. Do you want me to lose my job, too?
All right, but promise you'll come home as soon as your shift is over?
Jesus, Mary, I'll be home when the work's done, not a moment sooner.
Who is it?
I'm afraid of your husband. He asked me to check up on you, make sure you're all right.
Oh, that was nice of him. I have to admit, I'm a bit of a wreck. Do you work at the bar?
That's right, Fred Sampson. Your husband probably mentioned me before.
He doesn't like to talk about work.
That's funny. I can't get him to shut up. It's part of the reason I volunteered to check on you. He said you were frightened by that whole business in the papers.
Are you talking about the butcher?
Sure, but I'm afraid I haven't been following it as closely as you have. What do you know about him?
It's all in today's issue of the Bugle. Go on, read it.
Wow. It says here you killed 6 women, all redheads in their 20s. Say, you're a redhead.
That's right.
And you're about 25, right?
22.
Huh. Now I see why you're worried.
It's not just that. If you read further down, there was also an eyewitness who saw him leave the building of one of the victims. They said he was a Caucasian man, about 6 feet tall, with blonde hair and blue eyes. And I've seen at least 3 men that fit that description living on this street alone.
6 feet tall, blonde hair and blue eyes. Hey, come to think of it, I fit that description.
It also mentions he has a bit of a limp.
I've got a bum leg from a shrapnel wound I got in Korea.
And one other detail. They said he carved the letters FS on the bedpost of one of his victims. The police think it might be his initials, like Frank Smith.
Or Fred Sampson.
One of the detectives said there was no forced entry, which means he probably entered the homes pretending to be a friend or a relative, or a spouse's co-worker. Sort of like the way you and Rick know each other.
Hold on. You don't think people are going to say I'm the butcher, do you?
You? But why? You're Fred Sampson, Rick's friend from work.
And your landlord saw me come up to this room. He could be calling the police right now.
Now, why would he do that? Fred, what's the matter?
I think I better go.
Wait, you can't leave. What if the butcher comes? What if he's here in this building?
Let go of my arm, lady.
You mustn't go. Please.
Did you hear? They found the butcher.
Really? Where?
Hanged himself over at the Roadside Pines Motel. The police chased him down there from one of the buildings nearby. In the end, I guess the guy figured it was best to take the easy way out.
Well, I'm glad that's over. To think, I was actually worried he'd come after me next. I mean, there's thousands of women in the city. The chances of it happening were slim to none.
That's what I was saying from the start. I told you from the beginning you had nothing to worry about. But you had to get all hysterical, just like all the other dames.
You're right. I'm such a foolish girl.
Well, don't be so hard on yourself. You did one thing right. You married me.
That I did. Oh, and by the way, remind me to thank your coworker Fred for coming over the other night. He really helped me deal with the anxiety.
Fred? I don't know anyone named Fred.
Some people work the 9 to 5, earn what lesser men call an honest living. Me? I play the horses. Wasn't always like this, mind you. It began as a mistake. It ended up as a career. And in between all that was a lot of education. And not the kind they teach you in school. Or maybe they do teach it. It's not like I know, considering I've never been. Anyways, lately I've been on a real cooler. I started out the season up 10 knots and dropped down to camp fare in a week. Then I made the mistake of putting it all on a filly named Sully's girl.
Cinnabar, Rondelay, and Sully's Girl, And making his bid now is Battle Flag. Battle Flag coming up fast on the outside. It's Cinnabar and Battle Flag. Cinnabar is fading. Cinnabar is dropping back. It's Battle Flag, Cinnabar, and Rondelay. Battle Flag, Cinnabar, and Rondelay. At the finish, it's Battle Flag by a neck. Then Cinnabar, Rondelay, and Sully's Girl.
Now I'm in the tank for 5 times to a bagman named Butch. Problem is, all I got in the world are the clothes on my back and this moldy sandwich I fished out of a trash can. And in an hour, I won't even have that. That's when I saw an ad in the Bugle. Supposedly a robot wants a fellow machine to travel with him to Los Angeles to pick up an inheritance. Well, I may not be a robot, but I can fake it easy enough. I'm here about the ad.
I see. I'm sorry, but the ad was for a robot. You look human.
I'm a new prototype, a fully functioning android.
Oh, then you won't mind if I pour this scalding hot coffee on your lap?
Of course not. I'm a machine. I don't feel pain.
How's that?
It's fine. Don't feel a thing.
Wonderful. We leave for Los Angeles tomorrow.
The coffee burned like 3-day-old syphilis, but I held it together for the cash. No, not the money he was paying me to drive. I wanted that inheritance. And if I could convince this bucket of bolts I was a machine, I could do the same for the lawyers. When we got on the road, I learned everything about him. The factory he was built in, his serial number, and his primary function. He was a casino robot, charged with shuffling cards at a blackjack table. In fact, that's all he ever talked about. It was all he was programmed to talk about. Eventually, I had just about enough.
Did you know that it takes 2,000 shuffles to properly randomize a deck?
Oh, yeah? Did you know that it only takes 1 bullet to kill a robot? And that's for pouring hot coffee on my lap. When I got to Los Angeles, I got a bad feeling. Not on my lap, of course. There was nothing there but pain. No, the feeling I had was more like a hunch. Like a 6-1 underdog taking a bad beat on a dried-up river. So I flipped a coin. Heads I go in, tails I don't. The coin came up heads. Are you Mr. Kensington? I'm the card-shuffling robot you spoke to on the phone. I'm here to collect my inheritance.
Ah, yes. Do you have the documents?
Yes, I do. Here's my production slip along with my bill of sale and retirement papers. They replaced me just last year with those new Robco models.
I see. This is all well and good, but there's one other document I think you should see.
What's this?
It's the factory recall slip from your manufacturer.
Factory recall? But that means...
Yes. I'm afraid there is no inheritance. Your model has a defect that makes you think you're human. In order to solidify that belief, you manufactured this backstory. But really, think about it. What sort of person would leave a massive fortune to a card-shuffling robot?
Wait, I'm not really a robot. See? Flesh and bone.
Oh dear, there's that defect cropping up again. I'm well aware of how realistic you prototypes are. We have a similar model in our office. But the fact remains you are a machine. Anyhow, don't worry. Security will have you boxed up and shipped back to Boston in no time.
No, let me go. You can't do this.
The year was 1842. The place? Somewhere west of the Colorado. The Deadland, as they called them, for reasons that were obvious to people on the outside and heartbreaking for those left in. Somewhere deep in those Deadlands, there was a town without a name, and there was a reason for that, too. You see, for a traveler, a name is something timeless, a marker you can put on your map and find decades later. A name is a promise, a sign at the door that meant shelter from the dust storms and a card game at the saloon. But whatever name was given to this accursed strip of land, it came and went before the ink went dry. That's because it was a town run by outlaws for outlaws, and whatever promises they made were left unspoken.
So when the stranger walked into that saloon, no one took notice. Not the painted ladies doing their nightly rounds, not the gunslingers playing five-finger fillet. Not even the bartender, living here against his will because no one else could mix a proper drink. But little did he know the stranger was the one person who could liberate them all, if he could just look past her face.
Give me a shot of whiskey, and leave the bottle.
Coming right up, ma'am. You new in town?
Yeah, I heard you got trouble with some outlaws.
That's putting it mildly. But there's nothing anyone can do about it now.
Where's the sheriff?
If you mean the man with the badge, he's in his office. But the badge doesn't mean much when the guy wearing it shot the previous owner dead.
Sounds to me like you could use some help. Maybe even a new sheriff.
I'm sorry, lady, but you're wasting your time. This town is beyond saving. You know how I know? Because every day some gunslinger comes riding through here, talking about how they're gonna clean this place up. And every single one gets strung up and fed to the crows.
And your point being?
I'd hate to see that pretty face of yours added to the list.
That's not how I make my living.
It doesn't matter how fast you are with that gun. They've got numbers, and they don't fight fair.
Well, good, because my hands aren't that fast anyway. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna dirty 'em.
So, you aren't fast, and you don't fight dirty. Sounds to me like I'm wasting that bottle on a corpse.
Don't worry. In about a week, I'll be the only one left to pay their tab.
You know, you do a lot of talking. But believe me when I say it's nothing I haven't heard before. The fact remains, there's more than 20 of them and 1 of you.
There's ways to even the odds.
And how are you going to do that?
I don't know yet. But if you want to help, you can start by telling me about the outlaws who run this town. I want to know where they eat, where they piss, who they sleep with and where, starting with the men at the card table.
The old bartender told her what she needed to know, even though part of him felt like he was sending her to her grave. In response, the stranger simply nodded her head, confident in the fact that while her hands were slow, her aim was true. But more than that, she knew she was willing to dirty her hands far more than she let on, and it started the day she picked up that gun. To the stranger, the gun was the great equalizer, a necessary evil for someone born of the fairer sex. What did that word even mean, fair? Life had never been fair to her. In fact, it spent every day of her childhood finding new and inventive ways to express its cruelty, none more so than the day her brother died. So when she found a way to tip the scales, to bring balance to an unjust world, there was nothing dirty or unfair about it.
Who's the leader?
That would be the sheriff I mentioned earlier. You won't get to him as easily as the others. He doesn't have a routine, and he keeps 2 bodyguards with him at all times. But he does have a weakness, if you can call it that. A flair for the dramatic.
So he likes putting on a show. High noon, guns and holsters, all that.
That's right. But like I said, you can't really call it a weakness, because he's such a quick draw. Faster than anyone I've ever seen. And if you're as slow as you say...
Let me worry about that. Tell the Undertaker he can expect 17 bodies by the weekend. The bodyguards will surrender after I kill the sheriff.
The best in talk, sports, drama, and music. Atomic Radio.
True to her word, it took her less than a week to get rid of most of the outlaws. They'd find themselves dead at their usual habits, at the same spots the bartender had mentioned to the stranger that lonely night at the saloon. But as the bodies piled up, the outlaws got angry. The sheriff, feeling desperate for the first time in his long, unbreakable tenure, gathered up everyone in town for a mass execution. There would be hell to pay, even if he didn't know who or what would be footing the bill. With the risk of innocent lives being put to the noose, the stranger could no longer hide behind the fairness of her sex. She stepped forward and confessed to the killings, knowing damn well she wouldn't be believed. But she also knew it would give her an opportunity to prove it, and in the end, that's what she was aiming for. A chance to go mano a mano with the sheriff himself. The duel was set for high noon the next day, and the stranger made sure to keep her appointment. They would stand a good 60 paces apart, hands shadowing their holsters as the long hand crept ever closer to the top of the hour, and when that journey came to an end, she knew the sheriff would be the faster draw, and his bullet would hit her first. She also knew that if that bullet didn't kill her, she only needed one shot to drop the man who killed her brother, to bring the balance she spent her entire life searching for. So when the clock struck 12 and the sheriff's bullet ripped through her shoulder, she didn't flinch. Her base was solid, her hands were steady, her aim true. The stranger left the town the next night, but not before paying her tab and leaving the bartender a generous tip. The bartender asked her to stay, of course, and when she said no, he asked her for a favor instead. He figured the town was finally worthy of a name, and what better name to give it than that of its savior? But the stranger refused to give one, so the town went on nameless, for a time. But from that day forward, travelers who roamed the Deadlands often spoke of a sanctuary, a place where weary folk could find a shot of whiskey, a hot bath, and a warm bed. All they needed to do was look for the sign outside the door that said in no uncertain terms, "Strangers welcome."
Quite a store you've got here.
Well, I do what I can. One man's junk is another man's treasure and all that.
Yeah. Say, let me ask you something. Where's the best place to stay here in town?
Why, that would be the Statesman Hotel, just across the street.
And what if I was a Nazi?
What?
If I was a Nazi, what would be the best hotel to stay in?
Why would you want to know that?
Because I'm tracking one. If I was tracking a God-fearing American, I'd stay at the Statesman. But I'm not, am I? I'm looking for a Nazi man, and he's probably staying at a Nazi hotel.
Well, that would probably be the Waldorf on 22nd.
Thank you, sir. And God bless America. Mein Gott, it's you. It's really you.
Yes, it's me. How did you know I was alive?
I heard rumors. Ghosts really, hinting that you'd made a life here. But why Washington, of all places?
Why not? It's the perfect cover. Who'd have thought that I, the notorious son of Hitler, would be marrying the president's daughter?
That's a little bold, don't you think? There will be much public exposure.
Yes. Imagine their surprise when they also find out I'm having an affair with her mother, the First Lady.
But what if someone recognizes you? You can at least shave the mustache.
The mustache is a family heirloom.
But it's a Hitler mustache.
It's a Howard mustache now. But yes, it'll be a Hitler mustache soon enough, when I give the order to invade.
Is what they're saying true, Howard?
Yes, Loretta, it's true. I'm the son of Hitler.
What?
Wait, that's not what you're here for. What's this all about?
It's about your affair with my mother. But suddenly, that doesn't seem all that important.
So what happens now? Are you going to turn me in? Your own fiancé, the father of your half-sister!
Well, if you put it that way, then. Yes.
Fine. Call whatever passes for a Gestapo in this country. But know this. I'm the son of one of the greatest military tacticians in the history of mankind. You'll never catch me alive!
So you caught him alive?
Yep.
And he was really staying at the Waldorf?
Nope. The Statesman. The last place anyone would look.
Smart. So how did you catch him?
Easy. I looked everywhere else first. And when I was done doing that, I got a phone call from his fiancée, telling me the number of his hotel room.
How about that? You're a real sleuth, you know that?
Of course. But I'm an American first.
What did dispatch say?
You won't believe it, but someone spotted something flying over Drumlin Diner.
In this weather? It's gotta be a prank.
Well, we better check it out all the same.
Evening, troopers. How can I help you?
Just got a few questions if you don't mind. Is anyone suspicious coming into the diner in the past hour?
No, just the folks you see here. They all got off the bus from Topeka.
Is that so? You, in the hat. Are you the bus driver?
That's right.
And how many passengers were on the bus when you stopped here?
6. You sure about that, Chief?
Oh yeah, I do a head count whenever we stop, just to make sure we don't leave anyone behind. And 6 people got off the bus.
Then how come there's 7 people in this diner?
7? But that can't be. The road's been blocked off for hours.
Hey now, calm down. I'm sure there's a logical explanation for it. Perhaps if you told us what all this was about, officer, it might help clear things up.
If you must know, we were called here because someone saw something flying overhead. An unidentified flying object. A UFO. Which means one of you is an alien.
Now you're pulling my leg.
I'm afraid not, ma'am.
Oh my god, you're serious? I'm sorry, but there's gotta be another reason.
I doubt it. It's like the bus driver said. There were only 6 passengers, and there's 7 people here. Or should I say, 6 people and 1 Martian.
That's outrageous.
Is it? Or is that what the Martians want you to think?
So, what are we gonna do, Sheriff? We can't just lock them all up.
Well, as far as I know, there's only one way to tell if someone's human or not. We'll ask them questions. Things only a human being would know. Like football. You, in the suit. Who plays middle linebacker for the Bears?
I don't know. I'm more of a tennis fan.
Tear off his flesh, deputy. I think you'll find his real face under it.
Wait, what? Why?
No self-respecting man would ever admit to liking tennis.
No, please. You're making a mistake.
Did you put the body in the truck? The boys in D.C. are gonna want to dissect that thing.
I did, but something's been bugging me the way this all went down.
Speak your mind, deputy.
Well, I was thinking, when you counted 7 people in the diner, did you count the bus driver?
Of course.
But if there's 6 passengers and 1 driver, doesn't that make 7? Maybe there wasn't a Martian in there after all.
I think you forgot to carry the 1. Either way, I wouldn't worry about it. Intergalactic affairs are out of our jurisdiction.
But Sheriff...
No buts about it, deputy. It's the Pentagon's problem now. Now come on. It's been a long night. Let me treat you to some breakfast.
Every young girl needs love and romance. There's one thing she doesn't need.
There you are. What are you doing in this horrible place?
It's my home, Mother. This is where you live. But there's so much sun. We're vault dwellers, not vampires. Harold and I are very happy here. Harold? Is that a surface boy's name? It is, and the two of us are very much in love. Oh dear. You know it won't last. That's not true. The two of us are perfectly compatible. We both like hot dogs, walks on the beach, and our favorite movie is Love Sets Sail. You may be compatible with him, but is America compatible with the Chinese? Because that's what'll end your relationship, not some adolescent fight over what movie you want to see. Then I'll convince him to move in. He can live with us inside the shelter. Ha! Good luck with that. Honey, I want to talk to you about something. I think we should move.
Really? I thought you agreed this home was perfect.
Perfect for us, maybe, but I can't help but feel it's a little too high up.
Well, we lose the view, but the rent's cheaper on the lower floors.
I was thinking lower.
You mean like in the lobby?
Lower.
The basement parking lot?
Lower. I want to live in a vault.
A vault? But I thought only paranoid nutjobs live in vaults, not normal people like you and me.
Actually, that's not true. Sadie over on Elm Street was born in a vault.
I always knew there was something shifty about her.
And Greg over at the diner. Him too.
Never liked him. Did you know he got angry because I left him a 10% tip? Maybe if he gave me better service, he wouldn't have to complain about the size of his...
And me, Harold. I was born in a vault.
What? You? But how?
Well, my father works for Vault Tech, and he and some of the others in the neighborhood got to test some of the early prototypes. They had to make sure people wouldn't go insane from living underground for so long.
And did they? Go insane?
Not all of them.
Honey, I don't know. A housewife has responsibilities. I want to come home to a hot meal, not some emergency food ration.
If you're talking about the MRE pouches, they are a perfectly balanced dinner and they taste just fine. Oh, I'm kidding, Harold. We cook the same food underground that you do up here. I promise. In fact, why don't we visit my mother and I'll give you a tour?
Honey, one scary thing at a time, sweetie, if you don't mind.
Well, hi. I haven't seen you around here before.
That's odd, because I feel like I've been living in this building all my life.
You say it like it's a bad thing. I love this place. The rooms are clean, people are nice. You can't beat that view.
That's because you're new. You love it now, but things change. Love, in particular, has a habit of being fickle.
Sounds like you speak from experience.
Well, not exactly. I'd say most of my experience comes second-hand. Goes part and parcel with the job, really.
You must be a good listener, then. If so many people trust you with their secrets.
Well, it's been around for quite some time, you see. You might even say it's the oldest profession ever known.
Oh? And what do you do for a living?
I hope you're not going to ask me to spell it out for you, because...
No. Just seeing how red your face would get if I said nothing.
That wasn't very nice. So, you don't think any less of me?
Not at all. I happen to be an artist. If anything, you should be thinking less of me.
I love art. What kind do you do?
I'm a painter.
Have I seen any of your work?
Maybe. See that there hardware store across the street? Painted those walls.
Oh, that is indeed quite the masterpiece. A regular Sistine Chapel. And may I ask if a man of your talents would be willing to paint a woman's apartment? Or is that beneath you?
Well, I do have a lot of important clients. But I think I can work it into my schedule. Is this your apartment?
Why? Did you think I was on the clock? Now whose face is red?
I think you should stop.
Stop what?
Doing what you're doing.
And what? Become a starving artist like you? Besides, I thought you respected what I do.
It's not about that.
Then tell me, what is this all about?
Well, it's because I love you. And if you feel the same way, I don't think it's right for you to be with other men.
It doesn't matter what I feel. Love doesn't pay the bills.
But neither will this. Maybe now, sure, but in 20 years, those men are gonna stop calling.
You sure have a strange way of charming a girl, telling her she's going to be old and decrepit.
I'm just saying it won't last. Not much in this world ever does. But I'll be here if you just give me a chance.
You know, when I first moved in here, I was just as wide-eyed as you are now. Every night I'd come out on this balcony and watch the lights go out one by one. Sometimes I'd even bring my guitar and sing the whole city to sleep. But time goes by and that feeling fades. It doesn't matter if you're out here to sing or scream. In the end you realize no one can hear you either way.
That's not true. I hear you. And maybe I'm the only one in the world who does. But the fact that I'm here, listening, that has to mean something too.
I don't know what you want me to say.
Say you love me.
I can't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think I might be moving out. No, it's not that. I need to change, is all. Hold on, can I call you later? Yeah, something came up.
Old dream maker, you heartbreaker, wherever you're going, I'm going your way. Two drifters off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. We're after the same rainbow's end, waiting round the bend. My huckleberry friend, moon, river, and me.
Hey,
Hey,
I thought you were done with this sort of thing.
well, I was, but I figured I'd do it one last time, just to see if you were right, see if anyone was really listening. And here you are.
Here I am.
I'm thinking about quitting.
Are you? I imagine your clients would be disappointed.
Maybe, but I've decided there's only one person's feelings that I care about.
Well, I have to say, I'm rather envious of this person.
You should be. He's a talented painter. Rivals even the great Michelangelo.
I look forward to meeting him.
Do you really think this could work? They say love's brought about more pain and misery than any other emotion.
Well, pain I can handle. And I'm miserable without you, so I think we're in the clear.
And here I thought I'd fall for a nice man with a handsome bank account.
Well, I do have a bank account. I'm still working on the rest.
It really is nice, isn't it? The view.
Yeah. She's beautiful.